Alright, we are going to install Arch Linux 64-bit inside VirtualBox. Go ahead and let you see that. See, VirtualBox. Choose the 64-bit boot option. I'm doing this because I need a virtual Linux install in order to manage a micro SD card, which I could just boot into my hardware install, but it's nice to have this. I thought recording it would be fun. It was an idea that popped up a bit after, so that's what I'm going to do. Some of my friends could probably use this. Our language and internet connection are already established because we are going to stick with English, and VirtualBox takes care of Ethernet in the internet in the form of an Ethernet connection, and DHCP automatically runs on the boot of the Arch Linux disk. So you can see we are connected to the internet. So let's that's correct. Create a new partition, primary, default 1, the first sector where it starts. And that's why we're using fdisk. It knows where to start. And I'm going to make my swap partition first. I always forget if it's just G or it should be. Yeah, I'm not used to working with fdisk, honestly. Straight up. New primary to cool. Alright. Because I prefer to do this, we should be able to change the first type to Linux swap. I don't think this is actually necessary, but I've always done it. Oh goodness, I probably don't even know where in this. Oh, 82. Okay. And then I would like to print the partition table. So we have a swap partition of 2 gigabytes at the beginning of the drive, because that is easier. I typically put mine at the end, but with fdisk it's easier to put it at the beginning, and it's probably smarter on a physical hard disk, which we're not working with, but we won't mind that. And then write table to disk and exit. Alright. We will make the swap file system on the first partition, and then we will swap it on. Then we will make an extension for file system on the second partition. Sorry about the cough. And I am using a guide while I go along this, because I've done this bazillions of times, but it is always a good thing to follow a guide, especially for Arch Linux where things change. Always check the news page for this distro, please. Made the file systems, mount the partitions. I'm pretty up to date on this one. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Mount, second partition, the little mount folder. It always puts it there for you, which is convenient. I'm just going to use the default mirror, so we're not worried about that. So let's install the base system. I always forget the rest of this command. Oh yeah, it's very simple. It's just the folder you mounted, and base package, and the base development packages. And that will install the base system. One little change before I do. I'm going to edit the Pacman configuration file in our live system to include the multi-lib repository right off the bat. I don't know if that makes a difference when you're doing packstrap, but I don't think it hurts. So, because I do want this to be a multi-lib system. Alright, that'll take a minute. I will attend to some stuff. If I didn't already mention, the reason I'm doing this is to set up Arch Linux ARM on a micro SD card. It's much easier to do that from a Linux system, and I could boot into the one I already have on an internal hard drive installed, but I kind of wanted to be able to fool around in Windows 8 while I do this. So that's why I'm setting this up. Thought recording it would be a nice thing for some of my friends. But right now, like I said, it's fetching everything for the base system and all the packages you will need to compile your own packages, and I always install that. It's very useful to have. If you're making a system for a single purpose, though, and you don't have the need to compile packages, you can probably leave that out. You know, if you're just going to make a web server, or, I mean, if you're doing something virtual like this and you're just making an appliance, you definitely don't always need the development packages. But I like to play around with all kinds of stuff, so you will see me use the development packages always. So, this is going, it's doing its thing. I'm assuming if I minimize this window, it's still recording. No, I have to have it live, don't I? No, it's still recording, isn't it? Let me see. Oh no, okay. I learned something. Or it is, and I can't tell. Whatever. Yeah, it definitely pauses it, doesn't it? Oh well, okay. I won't minimize the window. Sorry about that. I mean, it's not going to make a huge difference in what you see. We're just waiting on packages to install. But I will remember that for later things. Nice thing about Open Broadcasting System, though, is I can open windows on top of the window I'm recording. So I can still attend to other things as long as I don't minimize it. Like the guide back here. For the record, after this we will be generating the fstab file. I don't know if everyone pronounces these things this way, and I don't care. Arch Linux has a utility for generating the fstab file. I don't know if other systems or other distros have a tool for this. I mean, I'm assuming a lot of the ones that do it automatically for you, where you don't have to punch in any commands, obviously do. But I'm not sure about Gen 2 or some of the other similar systems where you are kind of left to your own devices to pull everything together. Though Arch and Gen 2 are very different, but I still consider them in the same class. Ubuntu and Fedora are sort of the, I guess, easy mode class. They're very general use, something anybody can install and get familiar with quickly in a, usually some more similar to Windows or Macintosh or just general purpose operating system you're used to handling if you've touched any computer, I guess. I mean, they'll be different, they'll be learning, but I don't want to call them dumbed down because I don't want to insult it or anything. I think they're very useful and good to have, and I'm glad they exist. Debian is an example of something in between Arch and Ubuntu to me. It lets you see a little more of what's going on, asks you to do a little bit more, but it's on the simpler side. It's a lot more stable, unless you use the testing branch, of course. But I mean, I'm not saying Arch and Gentoo are unstable, but expect to fix problems. Just expect it. But that's the fun in it for me, and that's why I run Arch. If you want a stable system, but you want a little more user interaction, Debian. You want a stable system and you want it simplified for you, Ubuntu, Fedora, etc. There's plenty of choices out there. You want to fix problems all day, Arch Linux, maybe Gentoo. I won't speak for them. I haven't really played with it a whole lot over the years. I've done it a couple times. There's nothing wrong with a system where you have to fix problems. The reason I prefer it is not only do I find it fun and actually relaxing to an extent, unless it's a specifically frustrating problem, but I enjoy the learning process. I understand my system better. I understand why it works, why it didn't work, and why I had to fix what I had to fix, which is good to know. And generally, because of that, I know how to fix the problems when I run into them in the future. You still run into new ones as things change. And fixing Linux problems is actually not always too hard. There are so many sources on the internet for the information you need to know, typically. Whether it's distribution specific or not. Sometimes if you just need to know something about your shell, like the Born Again shell, Bash, there's so many resources for writing scripts to do whatever you want to do. If you need to know how to deal with systemd, or I think that's what it's called, excuse me. If you need to know how to deal with some of the core packages that make up the Arch Linux system, they have a whole forum, a whole wiki. The same can be said for Ubuntu and Debian and a lot of the others. The Ubuntu forum is a great source of information for Linux help, even if it's not my favorite distro to use in a long time now, honestly, just personal preference. Because it's very friendly to new users, but it still has issues like any other system. those new users have a great forum to ask questions on and get help on, and they often do, and so almost anything you Google for, you will find the answer to if you look hard enough, and believe me, you don't usually have to look too hard. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. You're going to run across stuff once in a blue moon that you're just not going to find an answer to, but that's computers. I mean, that's happened to me even in Windows. Just replying to some messages. But, Arch Linux is fun for me. I feel like I have the most control over my system. I mean, not total control. I'm not building it from scratch. You can do that. There's the Linux from scratch is a thing. Look it up. It's a whole book. I haven't had much success with it. I tried to build a multi-lib version, and I got about halfway and ran into an error I couldn't fix. But it was educational. I will attempt it again in the future. Most definitely. I'm sorry this is taking so long. I really thought it would be a bit faster, and then I remembered I'm installing an operating system. So I hope my talking is at least worthwhile. But yeah, I'm going to go as far as installing X on a window manager, and I mean, I wasn't going to do that for the original purpose of this, but it doesn't hurt. And I want you to see what it's like if I were generally setting up my Arch Linux system, at least the basic, before I start tweaking a bazillion things. And I'm not going to put you all through that, because that can go on for days. I mean, literally. I have spent days tweaking the colors of my shell and my window manager and personal addiction. Please excuse my coughing and stuff today. I just Okay, we are getting there. F-stab. Get in there. Cal, console font, time zone, hardware clock, kernel modules, host name, so much stuff. I haven't even decided what I'm going to name this. Probably Varch or something. That's a good host name. Virtual Arch. Configure the network, which, yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, that's after the. Then wireless. We're not doing wireless. Create an initial Ramdisk environment. Set through and password. Install grub. Unmount partitions and reboot. And then post-installation stuff. So this won't take much longer. Just downloading all those packages. I probably should have changed the mirror. It's kinder to everyone uses the main one, and I imagine that's how that works. Are we here? We're here. Okay, I was just talking for nothing. Alright. This is a command. I always forget the exact. And I'm going to be honest, I mean, I know what this command does functionally, because I know what it's doing, but I don't know how it does it. I've never bothered to research how this command does what it does, and I should. Okay, and good habit to check what it put. That's correct. You can see we have the first partition. Now these are commented out. Here's the actual line. It does it by UUID. It's assigning it to root, extension 4, options, all that great stuff, and the swap. Okay, so that's correct. I'm happy with that. We will now use the arch change root script to change our root to that mount and make our shell bash. Here we are. So now it acts as if we are inside the new system we've installed. We've changed root. So if I edit the Pacman configuration file, you will see it is a blank one where multi-lib has been recommented, or it's never been uncommented, to be specific, accurate. So we're going to uncomment multi-lib again, because we want that. We will do locale, which should be, yeah. Oh, I'm minimizing again. I need to stop that. I'm going to just do a where is for English US. Oh, here it is. UTF-8, and I won't explain all that, but you should only have to really do the UTF-8 one. Now we do locale gen. Correct. Okay. I'm a runny nose too, I'm so sorry. Alright, locales are generated. Now we will make the good old locale.conf, which is going to be echo in US UTF-8. I'll explain what this does when I'm done making sure I typed it right, because oh, I didn't even. Okay. Basically what that did is echo, well, you know, this is a sentence. Yeah. When you use that, it's going to pipe it. Well, not pipe, but it's going to output it into that file. So if I do that, or if I do this, you can see the file now contains that string, which is what we wanted. You could just put it in with nano. I mean, you know, it's all the same. And then we are going to export. That is how I do that, right? It's been so long. Export. I'm always messing up this. Oh. This specific line, and I try not to. There. Okay. Now it is a variable that the shell recognizes. I know that's probably not very familiar to you what that means, or some of you, but that means everything knows that my language is indeed English US UTF-8. Alright, we have no need to change the console font key map, at least I don't. Now we are going to create a symbolic link to local time from our time zone. You can find your time zone in user share zone info. So we're going to do that. So we'll CD there because I prefer to do that. LS, and here's all the little time zones. I believe mine is, where's it at? Well, okay. Oh wait. It's in America, isn't it? Wow. Have I forgotten how to do this? Watch me have forgotten. Or am I just not seeing what I think I should be seeing? Oh, here it is. Yeah, that's it. It's central. At least I think it is. I'm used to seeing another one here I don't see, but I'm going to go with just central. So what that did is we created a link, and it's a symbolic one, so when the system looks for the file local time in the directory, etc., it will point to user share zone info US central. Yeah, that's how that works. So this doesn't matter, this is a virtual system. We will now set the hardware clock. What it does is, well, helps it keep track of time. I'm bad at explaining the whole time stuff, but we need to do hardware clock sys to HC UTC. And this is why you should do the Arch Linux guide, because it will explain it a lot better than I'm going to explain it, because I don't think it's important for what I'm doing right now. I'm so sorry. Alright, I have no need to load any special kernel modules I'm aware of, even though we're using VirtualBox. We can take care of that later. Alright, set the host name, echo, call it varch, etc. Host name, and I probably need to, yeah, actually do that whole command right. People are going to laugh at me, and I don't care. Alright, and then we're going to append that same info to hosts. Meaning that when it looks for localhost or 127.0.0.1, it should also look for varch, because that's our host name. Alright, configure the network. If you only use a single fixed wire connection, you don't need it. You're simply able to use it. Right. So, the question is, what is our interface named? and I don't remember how to look them up. I'm always bad at this. I forget because the new interface names are so confusing to me since they changed them. Excuse me while I get current device names. Yeah. IP link. Yeah, that's what I... Okay. ENP0S3. See, I never would have figured that out. Okay. So now we're going to use system control. And what system control is Arch's way of controlling the system. If that's not obvious enough, we're going to enable. What to do is we're going to enable a service called DHCPCD at your interface name dot service. Our interface name is ENP0S3, and that should do it. And it will make a link which will enable that as a service, basically. You can then start it, but ours is already started, sort of, so we're not worried about that. But when we reboot, it should automatically grab our wired connection and get on to business. Alright, we will now create the initial Ramdisk. I believe that's correct. It is. The initial Ramdisk is what's loaded when you boot the system. It's basically a small packaged file that is loaded into your random access memory with all the things needed to initialize the system and boot it. Usually, you know, whatever modules you need at boot. Set the root password. For this, we will, I'm just going to use mine, and nobody can see that and it won't matter. Yeah. Alright. We're going to install grub, which is a bootloader. You can use syslinux, but I've never actually used it. Maybe once in my life. Grub install, da-da-da. So we're just going to use grub because I like it. It asks you to initialize the target. Specify the target, which in this case is I386. I believe that's correct. Please be correct. Yep. And recheck to make sure it did it right. And you do not put this to a partition. You do it to the root of the drive. So you just pick out the drive. You don't say SDA1 or 2 or whatever your drive is. It's just dev SDA. Installation finished. No error reported. Good. Now we'll do make config, which it has a thing for doing that, and thank God, because grub2's configuration files are too complex for me still. I will learn eventually. Grub make config, out to boot, grub config. There you go. It makes the boot entries. We don't have to do anything for UEFI because we are using a BIOS. Alright, we unmount and reboot. And then we do post installation. So we exit the change route that we did. There you go. We unmount, we reboot. And before I do that, I'm going to remove. Let me reboot. And then remove the disk. Alright, there we are. Here's our grub. And we should start it up, and within a little bit we should have a booted system. Alright. All we have at the moment is the root user. I'm going to take care of that with some basic post-installation things, which there's a whole page of. Okay. We are going to make a new user. It's going to add him to the group wheel. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what the M command does. We'll make sure their shell is bash, or the born again shell. And our user will be my username, because, yeah. That should do that, and then we can do the password for that user. There you go. Okay. So now I can, before we do that, I'm going to do editor equal nano. This is an example of using variables, because otherwise it'll open it in Vi, and I'm ashamed to say I've never been good with Vi. I have learned some of it, but editor equal nano Vi sudo. What does this do? Opens the sudoers file, and inside that I'm going to make it so wheel can execute any command and add myself to the sudoers file. Okay, now I'll exit, and I will log back in as myself, and I will do a pacman. It'll ask me for the password. Nothing to do, we already did. And it shouldn't prompt me like that anymore. Okay. Now, just replying to some things. Okay, so we have my user, and we've given him a password. Alright, what else do we need to do? Display drivers, so true. And X, all those great things. I don't even know if I really want to install the VirtualBox extensions. I really don't. But, you know, we'll deal with that. So, first let's get X. And let's figure out what the graphics drivers are for VirtualBox, because I haven't done this in ages. VirtualBox, Arch Linux Guest. VirtualBox installation steps for Arch Linux as a guest. Install the guest editions. Second way to install VirtualBox guest utils, which provides VirtualBox guest modules as a required dependency. Or you can just do it from the CD. I'm gonna do it. Tried the first method, pacman will fail. Remove these offending files. I'm just gonna do it via pacman. VirtualBox guest utils, VirtualBox guest modules. So. And it should grab all the rest on its own. At least that's what that other thing said. I will still watch this to make sure it does. Yeah, it did. I see the VirtualBox guest modules package. You may want to load VBox guest. VBox says, oh, well, thanks. I got a long time to see that. Okay. Alright, now we're going to load them. So, how we do this is we use the mod probe command with A for add. I believe that's what that means. We're going to load VBox guest, VBox SF, and VBox video. So, oh, yeah, sudo. Bang bang lets you do the last thing you put into bash, I believe, after whatever you put. So that's nice. To load them at boot time, create a conf file, virtualbox.conf, and etc. modules load D with these lines. We'll do that. So nano, etc. modules load D, virtualbox.config, and then we're just going to insert VBox guest, VBox SF, VBox video. Ta-da! Oh. Good job, me. Don't use sudo to do everything, but use it when it's editing system files, because then most likely you're going to need that. After the rather big installation step, you may need to start the guest services. Right. Anyways, all I really needed to make sure was that we had proper graphics drivers, we'll call it. Well, that's what they are. I am going to reboot the machine, 'cause it's only going to take a moment. Oh, yeah. Sudo. Got a sudo. I don't want this to automatically resize the guest window. I want to stay at 800 by 600, and I've put a lock on that, so it should do that, but I don't know. Alright. Alright. Let's take care of some things I want. Again, sudo. You can see I'm bad at that. Right. The first one. Yep. I use the awesome window manager, and that's what I'm going to be using today. You can install a whole desktop environment like XFCE or GNOME or KDE, Enlightenment, Openbox is somewhere in between. It's more on the awesome end, but it's definitely easy to pick up. Okay. Let's see. If you want to start X without a display manager, install x.org xinit. So make sure I have this package too. It's very useful to have the Zorg utilities, believe me. Alright. Now we're going to edit the should just be able to edit the one in our home directory, which is where we're at. It's been a while since I wrote one of these, but oh yeah, let's copy the basic one. Copy the sample and etc. skeleton. That is a good point. Just copy it to home. By the way, this is home. It always takes you there. Now you have a basic version, or start the window manager of your choice, such as awesome. Now, if I did that right, ta-da! We should have an 800 by 600 desktop with exactly what I want in it. Looks like we're a little off center on my video capture. I'll see if I can adjust that real quick. This won't take but a moment. I needed to do this anyways. I think that did it, but one moment while I make sure. Is it more like that? Yeah, there we go. There we go. I'm guessing you can't see my mouse cursor, but we're in a graphical environment and you need to do that, so. Oh, capture mouse cursor is on. I'm going to take it, and that is a side effect of VirtualBox. Sorry about that. You can still see what my mouse cursor is doing, so we'll open a terminal, and we don't have one, do we? Or the one specified doesn't work. Okay, I'm just going to exit awesome then real quick. Oh wait, I don't have Yoward either. Sorry, habit. What's a good, well, xterm always. But I mean, xterm is the basic one you should always have. But I want, there we go, rxdt. And I want a graphical notepad. Leafpad's good for that for me. I want a console web browser. I like links. What else do I want? I'll take Midori for graphical web browsing. Oh, excuse me. I'll go ahead and grab that because I like to have that integrated with Midori. Alright, that should basically be it. I can VirtualBox, please. Do not auto-resize the guest display. One moment. Quit. Start X. This gives me headaches. Okay, one moment. Let's see how to force this. It's a long time since I had to mess with this utility. Okay, this won't take but a moment. Let's do it. I'm sorry that you're not going to be able to see everything too well, but I'll try and make it so you can. Yeah. It's a long time since I used this utility, I'm sorry. Mode, that's what I need to change. I have to use output. I'm gonna guess that works. Oh, VBox 0, is that my output? There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. I have no idea that it's going to keep that setting. Probably not. I probably need to edit a configuration file. Only lasts through the current session. Right. Can be configured via the X configuration files. Now, all I want to do is I hate editing this file. I can't lie. I'm sorry. I keep saying that. I should be more sorry for saying that so much, huh? Oh well. That should prevent... Well, let's just do what we're doing. This is awesome. It is a multi-desktop system. This is a really bad way of putting that. It's able to handle multiple desktops. It's Window Manager. Many window managers support that, so I'll give an example. Open a terminal. You can see this is a tiled window manager. A tiled window manager does not use window borders or titles. So, desktop 1, 2, 3, go back to desktop 1, there's this. We're currently in floating mode. If you put it into tiled mode, Xterm will use whatever mode it. We'll do it the best it can. Okay, let's open a terminal again. Let's open Midori. Oh, I'm doing that wrong. Okay. So, Midori opens, and you know it's tiling very small in this situation. I think I can make this look a little better, or at least, oh, where is it even at? Browsing network, properties extension file type, startup, fonts, behavior, browsing, toolbar style, small icons. There we go. Okay, you can, guess it's not handling this too well, but you can resize, provided I remember how. It's going to be the VI hotkeys. Oh, I locked my Windows system. Yeah, I forgot that would happen. Yeah, it uses the Windows key as a modifier. So when I hit Windows L, it locked my system. Sorry about that. Okay, but it's a tiling window manager. You can choose to tile in different ways. You can full screen. I'm afraid to hit anything now. Oh, yeah. So, oh no, I don't remember how to close. Ah, goodness. Well, probably exit it from here. Yes, no? Oh, I don't get a menu. How nice. That's cute. It's gonna be windows and space, yes. Or not. Oh, there it goes. Okay. I do not remember how to close windows. I think I had to set up my own hotkey for that last time I used Awesome. I know that sounds stupid, but I don't know the default window close key. Anyway, that's awesome. It's awesome. I'm gonna quit it for a moment. And I will install Openbox real quick. And themes. And I'll do that as administrator, because I have to. You're going to see me bang a lot, because I always forget edit our little thing here. And I think you can do, I think it has its own Openbox session thing. Let me check that. You can tab complete things, by the way. Linux, I type open, I hit tab twice. It will suggest all the different things. Openbox, tab, Openbox, tab, dash, tab, so forth and so on. If it's almost complete, it will complete it all the way. So, let's start X, and immediately, right click is how everything works here. Immediately come set my resolution. And this is the entirety of the Openbox desktop. You can add toolbars and stuff. None of this menu is going to be correct. Like, I don't have Firefox or Opera. It's a general menu. You have to edit it yourself. There are tools that will edit it for you. Oh, I don't have opconf. Yeah, probably not. Terminals, xterm. There we go. See, I just love that. And then, I do have opconf. Clear looks. This is gonna be some stupid because I already installed Midori, but I'm gonna go ahead and put Chromium on here. Actually, I'm gonna stop what I'm doing, and now I'm gonna use that list of fonts up there. Haha. I happen to like the Droid package and the Ubuntu family, and that's my basic fonts that I like to use. That should make things look a little better. Alright, system configuration. Yep, now we have more friendly fonts for our eyes. Anyway, this is the general configuration of Openbox. It does have its own desktops, like the others. It's a very good, simple window manager. Most people, I would suggest XFCE as personal preference. GNOME 3 is a bit much for me. KDE has always been a bit much for me, but I'm not going to say I don't like either of them. I like them a lot. XFCE is still just a simple, solid desktop environment, and I love it for that. But Enlightenment is fun. It's a good desktop environment. There's plenty of them. LXDE is very nice. It uses Openbox, I believe. Or you can build your own, which is typically what I do, with Awesome and some other things. Awesome, to me, has everything you need. But you can build a really nice one with Openbox and something like FB Panel. Now, what I came here to do, let me check how long I've been recording. Almost an hour. I'll probably cut it here in a bit, but let's see how much I can get done of what I actually built this system to do. Here we go. I'm going to set up my micro SD card. for my Qbox I. I'm going to use VirtualBox to do it, and I'm going to directly expose my USB micro SD card reader to the system so that it can modify it. I believe this will work. It seems like I've done it a long time ago before. I don't know how much Windows will like it, and I don't care. So let me see if Windows recognizes the card. There's a problem with this drive scanner. Yeah, you would think that, but you're wrong. Oh, and then it opened it. How cute. Alright. We're going to follow a guide for this. I really believe in following guides. I guess I can just do it here. It shouldn't matter. Do it here in this X term. So, I wonder if I can copy and paste. I shouldn't, but let's find out. Yeah, no. Of course not. I'll just move this browser window over here where I can see it. Okay, we're going to use DD. To wipe out the beginning of this card, and I haven't even exposed it to the system yet. What am I doing? Let me do that. Oh goodness, which one is it? This is going to make it hard. Alright. It's removable disk F on my Windows system. There's my stick, my mouse, my keyboard, my webcam, my headset. Generic mass storage device, unknown device, generic mass storage device. That's the kind of thing that makes my head hurt. Do I have the main VirtualBox window open? I do. Can I alter this settings while I'm using it? Yes. Okay, let's just try and figure out which one it is. I don't know what else to do. So, if it exposed it to it, I can't tell. Tell I'm not good at this whole... Oh, there it is. That's it. It came in as SDB. It's an 8 GB micro SD card, so there it is. I just mounted a whole bunch of stuff. It was the last one. That figures. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's do it with CF disk. If I can type right. Cannot open disk drive. Sudo it. There you go. Alright, that looks like exactly what it should be. And it did detach it from Windows, so this should be safe. Okay. So, if equal dev 0, because we're going to write zeros, which is what we want. If equal dev... Oh, that's not an equal. I always say if and of. That's probably not right at all, but I don't care. The actual thing, byte size equal, I guess that's 1 meg, and count equal 4. This is going to get rid of the old U-boot environment, and I have to sudo that. Partition it with fdisk. Okay, type new, then primary. So new partition, primary, first partition. 8192 for the starting sector. This is a unique situation. Plus 20M for the ending sector. Okay. Type T-type. Okay. That's what we wanted. New primary to 49152 for the first sector. And then default. Okay. Exit by typing W. make file system. Oh, I need to be able to do that. Sorry. That should be the package I need. Yep. Make file system file allocation table dev sdb1, correct? Yep, first partition. Sudo. Okay. Where should I do this? Oh yeah. So let's make a working directory for this. I'll call it qbox. I'm going to make a boot directory there and mount. Yeah, I know. That's why I should do that. Now. Oh, right. You can't tab complete sudo commands with default bash settings. Derp. Okay. Yeah, get rid of it. You do what I tell you. It'll give it a little bit of time to do that. Then we'll make a root directory and mount it there. Then we're going to download the root file system because that's how this stuff works. Extract it. Move the root files to the root partition. Install the boot bootloader. This is for my little dev environment. Installing Arch Linux ARM on it via their instructions. Installing file systems on ARM devices generally it involves flashing a file system image, and that's what we're doing. We're getting it ready to do that. Basically, well, we're not going to flash it directly. We're just going to extract the files into a setup we've made. There we go. And then, of course, only root can do that. No. Am I going to have to type this? Oh my god. Let's make sure I do it right. archlinuxarm.org /os Arch Linux ARM -imx6 -qbox-latest .tar gzip. Bam. I don't have wget. Of course I don't. Hi there. Let's try that again. Alright, it's fetching it. We're on the ball here. Okay. You see who this is asking me a question? Oh, okay. Alright, now we'll extract it. I'm going to use tar for this, and I'm going to follow the command because I don't want to mess it up, because this is a file system image, and that can mean a lot. Yay, tab completion. But otherwise, I like to use sudo. Otherwise, I like to use a tool called a tool, and I'm going to go ahead and grab that. I'm so bad at remembering to use sudo. Grab some of the suggested, I know that one's not actually anywhere. I don't know why they suggest that, it doesn't even exist. But that's useful to have. Have a good, solid foundation. You shouldn't install a bunch of packages like I do. It's a bad habit. You should really watch what you install. Move the boot files to the boot partition. Move root and boot all into boot. So move root, boot, and wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Move root, boot to boot. Do what I say. There we go. Gotta watch. There's a difference between root and root in this case. This is our root. This is the root folder here. This is our boot folder. This is the boot folder here. Big difference. Don't make a mistake doing that. Probably should have named them something else. I don't know. Alright. Install the bootloader. So dd if equal boot spl of equal dev STB. This is like installing grub, so it goes through to the drive. Byte size equal 512. And seek equal 2. And guess what this command needs? You can hit Control A to go back to the beginning of the line like that. There you go. Again, sudo dd if equal boot uboot image of equal. You get better at this the more you do it. Dev STB. Got all this right so far? Yeah. Byte size equal 1k equal 42. 42. Byte size equal 1k. Seek equal 42. 1 capital K. That can make so many differences. Type everything you see exactly and double check it when you're doing stuff like this. While following a guide is good, don't follow it brainlessly. Pay attention to what you're doing and try and understand what some of it means. I'll admit I don't know what all this means, but I've tried to learn it over the years. I just know that's the in, that's the out. I get an idea of what byte size is. I don't know what it does in this case. And seek is, I'm assuming, telling it where to start. And sudo, and yeah. And I know what dd basically does. You can do a lot of nasty things with dd. Sync. Unmount both those. I'm going to do it separately, even though it has it as one command. So, we're waiting. Micro SD cards, these take a while to follow through with that command. Any flash memory, I guess, I don't know. I'll reply to some messages while I wait. I like to hit enter because I'm impatient. There we go. Okay. Of course. I'm trying to autocomplete things I can't. Alright, that should have done it. Of course I can't show y'all, so I'll just have to go find that out on my own, but that's the reason I made the system, was to do that. Yeah. But that basically covers installing Arch Linux, I guess, and getting up and running. I mean, we covered that a while back now. Since then, I've just been toying. I'll go ahead and do one more thing, because I always do this myself. I am a fan of Yowert. Yet another user repository tool, French for yogurt. So, we need package query and Yowert. We will grab those. I'm going to do this through the system itself, because I think that would be easier. Do I have any of the... No. Okay, look. Terminal. Midori me. Thanks. Let's just get for it then. I like DuckDuckGo. I really do. It's such a nice little browser. I mean, Google search engine. Package query and Yowert. I already know I'm going to need a better terminal for such a small. And this. I need this file for package query. It's just a fact. Whoops. I guess I can Alt Tab. There we go. Yeah, gotta learn that. Download the tarball. Just save. I don't know where you're gonna put it, and I don't care. I'll figure it out. Download the tarball. Save. Where did you put it? Oh. Well, I don't want you to do that. I'm gonna assume it's in here. or rather. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. I'm sitting here looking at it. I make a temp directory in my own home folder a lot for things like this. We use unpack because I have that privilege with a tool. I'm lazy. Now we've unpacked both those, we'll go to the package query directory. We'll make package, and it will make the package. It will grab everything, extract it, configure it. Ta-da! Now we will have a package in here, and we do sudo pacman u that package. Yes, I want to install it. Do the same thing for Yowert. Now we have Yowert, which can fetch things from the Arch user repository. It's very nice. What's something in the Arch user repository? Probably the RuneScape client, but that takes forever, and installing Java, and I can't think of any good example, but I'll show it to you so that you're aware. Oh, that's my Windows 8 Alt tab. Gotta be focused. The Arch user repository is where you can get packages created by users that are not in the official repository. That means pacman cannot fetch these packages, but Yowert can. That's very nice. Yowert itself cannot be fetched from pacman. That's why we had to do it that way. You can come and do this like I just did. You can come here, find the package, download the tarball, and do the make package and install it yourself. But if you come and do package query in Yowert and install Yagel, or however you pronounce that, with pacman, then you can use Yowert to install any of these packages like you would with pacman, which is very useful. See stuff like Minecraft, Spotify, Sublime Text, just stuff that is not in the main repo. Always come and read the pages on those. I mean, it's going to tell you when you install it what all it does and has, but like some of them still require a little bit extra work. Most of them don't. Overall, yeah, this is basically what I require for a basic Arch Linux system. As a window manager, Openbox are awesome. Sometimes I keep them both, even though that's not a good habit to install multiple stuff like that. It's nice to have a backup in case Awesome goes wrong or Openbox goes wrong. I have one or the other. Yowert, because I like accessing the user repository. I'll go and install Java and Flash and that sort of stuff on a desktop system, but I really don't need that here. I might play RuneScape Classic in this thing. It would be nice. Seems like I could stretch it. But yeah, that's it. That really covers it. I need to edit my Openbox menu, but I'm not going to go through all that. I'm going to log out. It's going to kill it. I did think of a good package. If you want a minimal system like this and you don't want to have to type startx, install from the Yowert CDM. Should be in here. Yep, console display manager. And I only see the Git version. I didn't know that. Well, that's cool with me. I don't like the incurses one at all. We're going to go ahead and do that. No, I don't need to edit the package build. Yes, we can continue. It'll grab the missing dependencies. Oh, you do not have to run Yowert with sudo. That's nice. That's probably why I'm not used to doing it all the time. Yep. And it will take care of it. I like to keep Git. It's useful. I'll edit the cdmrc. And do not use console kit. Just don't. And I had to do that with sudo, and I didn't. Console kit is no longer in Arch Linux. It's deprecated. Won't work if you try. Exit. Okay, now when I log into my... yes, you get a bash console display manager with awesome Openbox and KDE/Openbox, which is an option Openbox provides. You can remove this option from this list by removing the X-session file and user share X-sessions, I think. So I start awesome, and it doesn't start because I did something wrong. So we'll go to the second one because it does not initialize here. And I had this problem. problem on my desktop the other day, and I think Alt Start X fixed it. So we'll kill that one. We'll come back here, and we'll try again. What's going on? Maybe it doesn't play too friendly with the awesome launcher. Oh, well, that's a thing. See, Arch Linux. It's probably no telling what it is. Okay. Really, that should do it, but apparently it doesn't. Well, it works on my main system. I'm not worried about it here. I promise you this works. It just doesn't like me. It's probably something to do with VirtualBox that I don't understand, so I'm not going to worry about it. So, you know, for now, just... Oh, yeah. I'm so good at this. Here we go. Here's an idea. I'm going to tell it to keep, because that's what StartX would do. And that's how I want it to do in this VirtualBox. Ta-da! No, ta-da. Well, I give up on that. I'm not worried about it. Sorry. So, I'm going to call it that. Okay, it does have shutdown. Some systems it's power off, so it's going to do its thing. It'll take it a minute, but I promise you it's doing it. And that took us, what, an hour and 7 minutes? Most of me goofing off. But, hey, I did it. It's done. I hope this is useful to somebody, even if it's just some of my friends. It's good enough for me. Sorry about the goof ups along the way, but I expected that. I should have said at the beginning of the video, please watch this in 1080p or you're going to be miserable. Just full screen the video. The reason I did it this way is I wanted it to be visible throughout. If I did the whole screen recording without the subregion and the stretching, believe me, it was very uncomfortable to watch. So if you have problems with how this is recorded, I don't care. This is the best way to do it, I promise you, I swear. Okay, the system's going off. There it goes. Up, and it actually shuts it down. So all you see now is artifacts. So I'm just gonna kill this. I didn't know it actually closed the window. I should have realized that. Alright. But that was fun. Thank you for hanging out. Sorry, I'm gonna leave with a nice fun artifact at the end. I guess I can just wipe it. There we go. Black screen is better. I should have just set up another scene so it would fade out. But yeah, we're here, we're done. Thank you for watching. Hope it helped. Hope this helps. If you expected Skullgirls, yeah, it's probably what you're used to on this channel, but whatever, I do other things. Later, I'm gonna go play with my new Arch Linux system and maybe check out some other distros I haven't played with in VirtualBox, like Open Indiana, and something I haven't touched in years, like Slackware. And you should too. Go play with distros. That's why VirtualBox is nice. You get to play with all kinds of things. And it's fun, and it's educational. Or at least it's fun for me. So, thanks for watching. It's been cool.